Well, hello, friends. I've been a busy girl. I'll tell you more about that later. But I finally accomplished a huge, gigantic, monumentous deadline in my writing. I feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off of my shoulders. Ah. Yeah. So, what does a girl do when she has peace and tranquility and she has finally reached a huge life goal? She cleans the kitchen. Yeah, it's not usually because she wants to, but it's because she has to. Because, things have been kind of neglected when I've been working so hard. So I'm in here and I'm just a fussing and a fighting and I'm like, Alexa. She's listening, so I can't say her name too loud. And I'll say,
sorry, I didn't understand that.
See? Because I'm not asking her a question right now. I can't even say, Manexa. Oh, maybe I can say that. So from now on, I'm going to refer to her as Manexa. I'll say, Manexa, play me a song. Oh, I don't like that song. Play me another one. And I'm sitting here and I'm just de-stress cleaning. And I'm thinking, okay, let's get the dishwasher started and throw the garbage down the garbage disposal. And I started thinking, well, hey, princess, why don't you just gripe and complain about all of the modern conveniences you have? Because you know what? There was a pioneer woman who would have begged for a Manexa. So she could find out if the hurricane was going to come and wipe out the crop. Hurricane? No. Cyclone was going to come and mess up the crops. And then her family was going to starve in the dead of winter because it took out all the corn. Yeah, I have a pantry with corn in it. She had to go dig rows by hand and plant corn. So I started thinking about my pioneer sister. And I started thinking, as I'm going in and throwing my laundry in the wash machine, and I'm thinking, hey, pioneer sister, great props for you for taking the 2 outfits you had and beating them on a rock down by the river. Oh, and the river wasn't out the back door. She had to take her basket full of her kids' stinky, because if you only had 2 outfits and it was the dead of summer, and there was a stomach flu virus going around. Well, first of all, if you even lived through the stomach flu. And so they had stinky, yucky clothes, and she had to put them in a basket and whistle and smile her way down to the riverbank to beat their stinky clothes on a rock and then come back to the house carrying those wet, slightly not as stinky clothes. But they were really, what is a natural body of water but a giant mud puddle? Seriously? So she takes their clothes, beats them on a rock by a mud puddle, and then comes and hangs them on a line, hoping a bird don't poop on them, because then she'd have to go back to the river. Pioneer woman, every time I drop in my Tide Pod, I am going to think of your rock. And then I'm putting things in the dishwasher, and I'm thinking, pioneer woman, I don't know, where did they get plates? At the general store? They had to get in the stagecoach, drive a country mile to go get a plate. If you knocked over your glass and broke it, well, guess what? You don't get well water because they didn't have soda. They didn't have an Izzy, a fruit-flavored sparkling water like I do. Oh, they had to drink from the same mud puddle that they just washed their stinky clothes in. God bless you, pioneer people. So then I'm thinking as I'm sitting here and I get my dishes done, unlike pioneer woman who took hers to the well and used the old dirty water and washed them. It's a wonder that they lived to be past 40. No wonder everybody died of dysentery. So I do mine and then I sit down and I put my feet up. And then here comes Rosie. Rosie is what we have named our robotic vacuum cleaner. Just so you know, we ain't bougie. No. In this house, somebody gave it to me as a gift. So, Rosie, she comes bopping through the house, and literally, I talk to Rosie like she's a person. Well, good morning, Rosie. It's nice to see you here. You're always punctual. Where do we get her name, you ask? Well, if you ever watched Jetsons, of course, Rosie was their robot housekeeper, so this is Rosie. I have 3 golden retrievers and hardwood floors. I need a Rosie in my life. So I'm sitting here, well, nice to see you, Rosie. Hey, you missed a spot. Like, she really is listening to me. And then some days I'll go, you know what? I'm about to fire Rosie. I dropped a cookie crumb on the floor yesterday, and she's missed it 2 days in a row now. Hey, get up out of your recliner and go pick up your own cookie. I'm sure it was what Rosie is thinking. But no, I'm having fantasy arguments with my robotic vacuum because she didn't pick up my cookie crumb that I didn't want to bend over and pick up myself. But yet, here is Pioneer Woman who whittled a broom handle out of a tree limb that fell down in the last storm and didn't take out the hut that they lived in. And then she tied weeds to the end and created her own broom. And guess what? She didn't have a cookie crumb to pick up. Poor Pioneer Woman. I'm sure she would have given me a firm talking to about ever being unsatisfied or complaining in the world in which I live. So as I'm sitting here today talking to my robot vacuum cleaner, thinking about how good we have it in today's world, I really also had to stop and think, my family, my son, when he got married and they had children, his job took him far away. And I think of Pioneer Woman, and I think of how she puts her family on a stagecoach and says, go on over to the gold rush, little ones, and I hope that you don't get eaten by wild dingoes or burned in a raid of a village and good luck. I'll probably never speak to you again. Maybe send me a Western Union stop. What were those called? Western Union Telegram. See, it came to me. Did you see? You could almost feel the thought trying to come into my head. It was a little thick, but it burrowed in and then it came to me. And she's like, honey, we just got a telegram from our children who left 2 years ago. Good news is they're still alive. Bad news is the husband died because he starved to death, and she has been now taken captive by a marauder. I don't even know what a marauder is, but they sound very ominous. And but she's like, dear mom, stop. Husband starved to death, stop. Now living with a marauder, stop. If I don't see you here, I'll see you in heaven, stop. Oh, what a lovely, lovely note my daughter sent me. I'm telling you what, moms back in those days had to have zero give a darn. You couldn't, because you'd send your kids outside to play and you're thinking, well, I sure hope a bear don't come out and eat them. Or a kidnapper take them off and sell them into, I don't know, some weird trade. I don't know, what did they trade back then? I don't know. And so I really have a lot of sympathy for her because somehow she managed to still raise a family, still can her own food so nobody'd starve to death in the winter. She would still send her family off with a smile and joy in her heart while I'm sitting here going, would someone in my family please FaceTime me? I haven't seen you in over 24 hours. Yeah, I'm a whiner. I found it out today. So as I'm telling you this story today, it's because I need to confess. Confession's good for the soul, they say. And so today I'm confessing. My name is Stacy, and I'm a whiner. Ugly. It's ugly. So I'm going to go over, put my feet up, now that my house is clean, give my prayer of thanks that I am not a pioneer woman. I don't think I could have done it. No. Can you imagine if I'm a complainer with all the modern technology I have, how much of a complainer I would be if I was a pioneer woman? No. My husband would have sold me to a marauder. He would have said, forget it, girl. Marauder, come on over. I got one for you. She's thick and juicy. She'll last a long time. So, take a note from my playbook. Confess today of your dissatisfaction and complaining. And just be grateful that you too were not a pioneer woman. Okay. Peace out, and we'll talk soon. Stop. Unless we get eaten by bears, stop. Or sold to marauders. Stop. I'm sure that is on my husband's to-do list today. Where does one find marauders? Google. Marauder. Is there? We'll talk soon.